hot asphalt to patch the holes is limited. City crews have gone on mandatory overtime trying to get the city caught up. Steve Vaughn, ONN.
And I'm Daniel Barnett on the Ohio News Network.
Calls and conversations continue in less than 3 minutes as the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues after this.
Honey, you know the twins are juniors in high school this year, right? You know what that means. We have to figure out how we're going to pay for college.
Looks like one of us is going to have to get a second job.
Or we could sell the boat and the motorcycle.
Like I said, one of us needs to get a second job.
Wait, I heard that Metro News is giving away a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan that includes room, board, tuition, and fees.
What? Room, board, tuition, and fees? That really is a full scholarship. And West Virginia Wesleyan is one of the best colleges in the entire state. We need to look into that.
And so do you. If you have a current junior in high school or know someone who does, go to WVMetroNews.com and click on the 2022 WV Scholar Program presented by Greer Industries. The application deadline is April 30th. It's easy to apply. Go to WVMetroNews.com and click on the Apply Now button today. Remember, the application deadline is April 30th.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gelner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gelnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
Introducing our new redesigned 7 News app. Our new app features a sleek, modern design, an easy-to-navigate home screen with quick access to local news content and a localized weather forecast. Subscribing to notifications is easier, and with one tap, you have access to recent push notifications. There are more ways to watch and find video. To get the new WTRF 7 News app, just update the latest version or download the WTRF 7 News app in your Apple or Google Play Store by searching WTRF.
Millions plan for retirement online. Estimate your future benefits, apply for retirement, and manage your benefits all from the comfort of your home. And give yourself the freedom to do what you want offline. Social Security's online services help put you in control with secure access to your information anytime, anywhere, allowing you to spend more time with family, friends, or simply just enjoying the day. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. See what you can do online at socialsecurity.gov.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts. Thank you for riding with the Watchdog. Live and local, just the way you like it.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I am the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster, with a look at your local weather forecast for your Monday. Partly to mostly sunny skies with a high near 43. Partly cloudy overnight, the low near 32. Plenty of sunshine around for your Tuesday with highs in the lower 50s. Have yourself a great day, everyone, from the Watchdog. I am Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
I'm not a Monday guy.
I'm not crazy about it either. I also don't like Tuesdays, Wednesdays, or Thursdays.
Are you ready to go?
I'm warning you, I'm seriously stressed out here.
You always drink like this so early in the morning?
Isn't it a bit early in the day for the bottle? Even for you?
Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
Make the radio call.
It's time to get up.
It's time to hear that pop.
This tape will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
We are go for launch.
Live from the Robinson Auto Group studios, this is the Valley's longest-running morning show, the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe from WKKX and WVLY.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America and all the ships at sea. Welcome into our 3-hour soiree of information, conversation, controversy, and a little bit of fun. 7:11 in the morning on the Watchdog Morning Show, 27 degrees. At the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport, 25. Here at my home studios, 25 degrees at the Robinson Auto Group studios, downtown Wheeling. in the heart of the Ohio Valley. Nice day today. It's going to be sunny, 42 for the predicted high. Not bad at all for this time of year. The week is going to get even better, mid-50s over the next couple of days, and we're hitting 60 and into the 60s for the weekend. Aaron's got all the details coming up a little bit later on here on the show. Anywhere along the way you want to join me, the phone lines are open, 304-232-8255. If you don't remember the numbers, if you're numerically challenged, it's 304-232-TALK. And you can just pick up the phone, give me a call. We can chat about whatever is on your mind. And you're welcome to text me if you don't want to take time to call, 304-214-1600, 304-214-1600. It's a Monday. We're off and running. Good morning, Brother Biff.
Good morning, Howard.
How was your weekend? You said it was going to be a fairly quiet weekend, not a lot of work extra to do this weekend. So did you get something fun or enjoyable in?
Hockey game Friday night, hockey game Saturday night. Took a walk yesterday afternoon, and that was it.
Well, that sounds like a pretty good way to spend your weekend. Yeah, just kind of chilling. Watch anything good on TV?
A little bit of college basketball that was on yesterday. Watched the Mountaineers be the Mountaineers on Saturday. And a little bit of the Penguins on Sunday as well.
What's happening with our Mountaineers, Biffy?
They somehow don't want to play the second half, and they find shooting slumps that they get in. They turn the ball over. They don't do a lot of the basic stuff that you need to do in basketball to win games. And true to form, it happened again on Saturday at home against Texas.
It's not been their best year.
No, it certainly has not, and it's actually going to hurt West Virginia when the Big 12 tournament starts, because now they're going to have to play the, I believe what Tony Caridi called the play-in game for the Big 12 tournament. So West Virginia going to have to play an extra game to even get into the actual Big 12 tournament. So not looking good for the Mountaineers with 2 regular season games left, and then the tournament, Big 12 tournament after that.
I've been listening a little bit to Coach Huggy. The trouble with Hugs is he always seems unhappy. So it's, when you listen to him, it's kind of hard to tell exactly where his head is at anyways,
Yeah, I think it's been, it's certainly been frustrating for him, and you can see that at times, but he's got a reason not to be upset. I mean, they just can't figure out the second half of games and everything. I mean, it's not like they're trying. They're putting the efforts there. It's, I think, in their minds.
Right.
They just can't
pull it
seem
together.
They just can't seem to get the basics down, which unfortunately in basketball and really in any sport is not good. When you just don't do, as a minimum, the basics. So it's kind of been a weird year for him, and he said they're not done yet. The old Coach Tomlin quote, "We're not dead yet. They're gonna keep on chugging along and see what happens here the final 2 games of the regular season, and then have to do the unthinkable and win the Big 12 tournament just to get into the NCAA tournament."
The team has not looked like they're of that caliber this year, the caliber to do that. On the other hand, I never count Huggins out,
Well, and that's the beauty of this time of the year, is when tournament week rolls around and some of the other conferences that we don't get to talk about and we don't get to see. I mean, it's stranger things have happened, but I don't see it happening this year. But that's there's a reason they play the games on the court and not on paper.
Tony Caridi will be here with us coming up about an hour and a half from now. The Morning Mountaineer Report. He'll have his perspective and analysis of this as well. My guess would be he'll also be on with the Hoppy today. He has been most days. So more of the Mountaineer conversation coming up throughout the day here on the Watchdog. I didn't do anything over the weekend. And again, you had, you didn't do a lot. I mean, it was kind of a chill weekend. Teddy had the sniffles. So, they don't let him when he's got the sniffles come down and visit Granddad. They think I'm, I don't know what. Oh, we can't let Granddad get infected. Oh, for God's sake, I have the sniffles every day of my life. But so Teddy didn't come. So you know what I did literally all weekend long, Biff?
What's that?
Slept. I mean, when Teddy's not here to play, what do? My wife went out and did some shopping. I did some sleeping. That was it all weekend. I got to tell you, if you followed my tweets or my Facebook posts over the last couple of weekends, I've had really good, big, fancy, expensive meals. A couple of visits to Red Lobster where I've had 2 lobster tails and all that stuff. I mean, I've had just, really good top shelf food over the last couple of weekends. But this weekend, I think, the best food I've had in months. And you know what it was, Biff?
What's that?
Chicken noodle casserole that the ladies made at Dillonvale Church for a church luncheon. I mean, after $60 of lobster over a couple of weeks, and after having big thick steaks at the steakhouse and so on, it was turkey or chicken and noodle, typical, church dinner food. We had a little little luncheon after church services in Dillonvale yesterday. And God, it was tremendous. I'm telling you, I enjoyed it more than I did the lobster.
There's always something about, and it doesn't matter, what church you go to, but there's just something different about the food when it's made at a church, and the people that go there, and usually, and this is no criticism, but it's usually the older ladies and the older men that do the cooking. So when they make it, it's just there's something different about it.
I've been trying to cut back a little bit on eating. I know, well, you people would not laugh at me, but no, I have been the last couple of weeks for some medical issues, medical concerns. And so I've been kind of watching what I eat a little bit more than I had been. I know that you all have a hard time believing that, but I have. So, of course, it was a church luncheon, and I am their preacher of the day. So, certainly I wanted to be with the folks for fellowship. So I went down to the fellowship room, and you can't ignore the food. So I thought, all right. I went up and I said, what's it? Well, these noodles look okay. That's all I got, just a little spoonful of noodles. I thought, this way I'm being polite, right? I don't want to come down and not eat. That would be rude. So I just got a little spoonful of noodles, went down and sat down, started talking to some of the ladies in the church, and ate a bite. And I said, holy mama, God, this is good. And then I went back up for the big plate. And all my plans to not eat much went by the wayside. And fortunately, I mentioned it to the lady who had cooked it, Wendy. I said, Wendy, did you make this chicken noodle stuff? Yes. I said, man, this is tremendous. So a minute or two later, she came with a great big take-home box for me. So I share with you not just to share my food, but to point out that sometimes you don't have to spend a fortune at a fancy restaurant to get the best food, Biffy. This was the best food I've had in weekends.
That was their way of telling you we want you to come back. That's how they're getting you to come back is with the take-home containers of their food.
That's a good point. They have learned, I guess, over the couple of years I've been with these folks in Dillonvale. They've learned what motivates him. Food. Give him good food and he'll come back. Anyway, I share that again just because you would think that the fancy, expensive restaurants where I've been eating a couple of Sundays in a row would be the highlight. No. Tuna noodle casserole in a plastic dish at the basement of the church. Oh, right up there. 721 of the Watchdog Morning Show. Hey, Biff, if I say to you there's one thing lightning is not supposed to do, lightning's not supposed to...
Lightning.
hit twice.
Oh, strike twice, yeah.
Lightning never strikes twice, right?
You would think.
Yeah, well, tell that to Juan Hernandez from Uniondale, New York, who won this past week a $10 million lottery prize. Because 3 years ago, he won a $10 million lottery prize. This guy won two $10 million lotteries in the space of 3 years. He told a New York lottery official, "Well, I'm really still trying to spend my first $10 million." He played was this New Jersey? Is that what I said? Yeah, no, New York. He played a cash spectacular scratch-off ticket, a deluxe one, and he won the $10 million. He took it in a lump sum, so he only got, Biff, $6,510,000. Just that's all he got was $6 million.
I'd still take that.
The odds of winning the top prize once is 1 in 3,521,600, according to the New York Lottery. Obviously, the odds of winning the lottery twice is exponentially higher. Now, we had a story a few weeks ago of a guy who had won a scratch-off ticket, and it was like $25,050 or something. But this guy won two $10 million prizes in less than 3 weeks. As I said when we talked about that previous one, if I'm the lottery commission, I'm doing a little investigating. I'm doing a little checking to see exactly how this works. I want to see if, does he know Nick Perry?
I wonder too, and without seeing it, if I'm sure the numbers were not the same. So I'm wondering if this is one of those deals where, say the first time he won it 3 years ago, if he had numbers that he goes by and he played and they hit, or this time around, and you've seen and heard about this before, like if you get a fortune cookie and they have numbers on there, if he just played like random numbers or if he had the machine do it, I'd be curious to see, or even what he did both times.
That's a great question. The story in front of me from where is this from? Associated Press? CNN. Story in front of me from CNN doesn't tell me that information. That actually would be interesting. Did he pick the numbers? Were these, his special numbers that he uses every time?
Or did he have the machine randomly do it for him?
Right. It doesn't say that. And that's a great question. It does happen. Again, I've never heard of two $10 million winners in 3 weeks anywhere. But the New York Lottery said it's not as uncommon as you might think. Last October, a Maryland man won a $2 million lottery for the second time. So the second time he won $2 million. In August, a guy in South Carolina won a $3 million just 11 days after winning $40,000. Now, see, that doesn't sound so miraculous to me. He won $40,000, I'm guessing in a scratch-off probably. And then he won the $3 million. I don't know if that was a Powerball or what that was. Two $10 million within 3 weeks. Again, if I am the head of the lottery in New York State, I'm calling my chief investigator. Bob, I think we need some extra work on this one, please. Not that I have any reason to believe that Mr. Hernandez, I'm looking at a picture of him. He looks like a very nice guy. But.
Well, and I know they say that those drawings are supposed to be monitored. So, still, even if they are monitored, that's just to me. Maybe he's just got good luck. I don't know.
Well, again, and I'm not seriously. I'm not implying anything nefarious here. I'm going to assume that it was just unbelievably lucky. On the other hand, in this area, we remember Nick Perry, Mr. Bowling for Dollars man, who was the host of the lottery show. What's that been, 30 years ago, Biffy, something like that? Who ended up, rigging the lottery and ended up going to prison for it. So it can be done and has been done. I'm not suggesting it's done here. I just find it amazing. And here's a question. If you won $10 million, would you keep on playing, Biff, anyways? Or if after you got your $10 million, we go, yeah, I think that's enough. I'm okay. Might as well save my money.
Yeah, if I'm getting $6.5 million out of that by the time they take out taxes and everything, yeah, I'm sitting down and I'm going, okay, take care of everybody that you need to take care of. How much do I have left? Okay, yeah, I still think I'm going to be good.
I got to tell you, I never would have thought about winning. I would never think about winning it twice, though. Didn't it?
Oh no, I mean, that might be one of those deals where he just said, I think might as well play it for fun again, just to see what happens, and maybe I'll be happy if I at least match one number, or one number in the not Powerball, but if they have like a special number that they pull in New York, I'll be happy if I just get that. He certainly didn't. I'm sure would think he would get all of them again.
Look, I'm happy. I'm happy to win $5. Which I don't think I've ever won $5. I think we've won like $2 on occasion. I think I mentioned a few weeks ago we won $2 on a scratch-off ticket or Powerball. I forget. We won $2 on one of the tickets, and they just turned it back in and said, "Give me their ticket," And my mom, when she was alive, God rest her soul, my mom won not a huge amount. It might have been like 5,000. I can remember. It was enough that at the time we had to drive to Parkersburg to pick up the check. You couldn't just go to the store to get it. So she won it, but it wasn't. It wasn't millions,
Well, it's funny you said that because Parkersburg, because my grandmother, when she was still living in Parkersburg, and she worked at the telephone company in Parkersburg, and she went in with a group that one of those deals where they played the lottery, and I think they matched. I want to say it was either every number but the Powerball, or they matched 4 of the white numbers and the Powerball. But they were one number off either way from actually hitting the big one, yeah. And they split it among them because they got a lot of money back at that time. And I mean, we're talking, I think, early 90s maybe. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean they came real close to hitting the big one, and I'll never forget it.
You really wouldn't have forgotten if they actually had hit the big one, Biff.
Oh, I know. Oh, yeah, that would have been pretty cool. But no,
in point of fact, you may not have even been here if they had hit the big one.
No, I think I still might have been, but no, they. I still remember they were one number off from hitting the big one, and it was something.
A texter to us here is reminding us that actually, you and I have been talking like this was like a Powerball kind of thing, and this guy, the 210 million actually were scratch off tickets. But I don't care how you win, he still won. All right, my friends, 7:30 in the morning on the Watchdog Morning Show. We've got a very busy morning in store. A lot of stuff happening around the world, around the area. We're going to get into all of it. The Ukraine, of course, is fighting back. Sanctions are tightening. Putin is now raising the nuclear option. We will have continuing coverage from ABC all morning long. We'll have our first update coming up in just a minute or two. several of the more controversial bills in the West Virginia legislature, including that CRT, critical race theory bill, the anti-stereotyping bill, several bills did not make the cut by Friday when bills had to be completed. They didn't get it done. Several controversial bills are not going to make it through. We're going to talk to Stephen Adams about that, the things that didn't make it through and what is still pending as the final couple of weeks of the legislature gets underway. In the Buckeye State, there is a battle over redistricting. The Ohio Redistricting Commission is kind of in a fight with the Supreme Court. State Supreme Court has said to do certain things by a certain deadline, and the GOP-led Redistricting Commission said, I'm not going to do it. There was a hearing on that this week. We're going to talk today to Dave DeWitt from the Ohio Capital Journal about this big deal with the Ohio Redistricting Commission. President Biden's new Supreme Court nominee begins her walk to confirmation, officially announced on Friday. Our friend, WVU political science professor John Kilwine, is in to talk to us about the nominee, to talk to us about the process, to talk to us about what her obstacles may be as the confirmation hearing gets underway. Plus, left turns only, lightning strikes twice for a lottery winner, and actors who do not want to be an Avenger in a Marvel movie. I've got all this and more coming up here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Something on your mind, text me 304-214-1600, 304-214-1600, or feel free to call me at 304-232-8255. Heading over to the news desk from the Big Seven in just a minute, but an update to a story that has been breaking here in the Ohio Valley this morning, again from Channel 7. A high-speed police chase that began just around 5 o'clock this morning in Wheeling, traveled into Ohio, back into West Virginia, was eventually stopped about 5:20 in Moundsville this morning. Wheeling police say a man and a woman are in custody after leading cops through the multiple counties on the chase. They had to use a taser to bring the whole thing to an end. The man is now being transported to the hospital. No word, according to Channel 7, on what actually started this, why the two were trying so hard to evade the police. Starting out with Wheeling PD, and then multiple departments got involved. No responders were injured. TV7 will have more details for that at the award-winning website, WTRF.com, and we'll talk more about this with Bob later on in the morning. Meanwhile, here are some other Ohio Valley headlines from, who's in today? Stephen today, Biffy?
It is Stephen.
Stephen's got some other Ohio Valley headlines for us from the Big Seven.
Now it's time for your local news headlines from 7 News at WTRF.
And we just got past our first segment. I'm 2 segments behind already, and it's a Monday. Yeah, we'll get it all caught up. But we've got Stephen at 8:15, David DeWitt at 8:40, John Kilwine at 9:15. Yeah, he said he would call, but give me the number just in case something went wrong. Okay. Keep it somewhere, because I have a feeling we're going to use them more often. Had some good talk with the people from Ohio Capital Journal over the weekend. We used Jake a good bit, but I've got a couple of the others now rolling in, which is good. I like to cover Ohio, and we don't have any real good contacts there, so I'm glad these people are going to help us out a bit. And we'll do a status report here somewhere in this next half hour. I'm going to try and get a status report in every at least once, once during our part of the show. All right, thanking you.
Score of 8-2. Meanwhile, Sunday in Columbus, Ohio, the Penguins edged the Blue Jackets 3-2. The captain, number 87, Sid Crosby, scored a game-winning goal with only 2 minutes and 14 seconds remaining in regulation. And in the nets, Casey DeSmith with a total of 32 saves. Against Columbus, in his career, DeSmith 3-0. By the way, the Pittsburgh Penguins have the best road record in the National Hockey League, 18-6-3. And the Penguins will be back in action Thursday night when they visit Tampa Bay. Well, today is the deadline for the baseball owners and players to try and reach an agreement for a new CBA deal without delaying opening day. Now, the owners could lift the lockout, and that would allow the players to participate in spring training while the two sides continue to negotiate. Stay tuned for more of the greedy owners and the greedy players trying to reach a deal. I'm Bill DeFabio on sports, and we are the Watchdog.
The Variety Show with Bill DeFabio is live on the Watchdog Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. We talk to some of the region's best business owners while keeping you informed about area events and happenings. You won't believe who I have on next. Tune in and get with the program. Guests from preachers to pros and even some Super Bowl champions. Join me, Bill DeFabio, from noon to 2 for the Variety Show on the Watchdog.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
The Mountain East Conference Basketball Tournament is back at Westbanco Arena in Wheeling, March 2nd through the 6th. Tickets are on sale now. All session adult seats start at $72. Visit westbancoarena.com for tickets or mountaineast.org for tournament info. And you can follow the entire tournament live online at mountaineast.tv or wvmetronews.com. The Mountain East Basketball Tournament is presented by the Health Plan and brought to you by the City of Wheeling, the Wheeling Nailers, and WTRF Television.
Hey, man, what can I get you?
Yeah, can I have 2 Coors Lights?
You got it. Hey, Mike! I need 2 Coors Lights!
Sure thing. With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time.
Here you go.
Thanks, Mike. Doing a great job. All right, 2 ice-cold Coors Lights.
That's the coldest beer I've ever had.
Hey, they don't call it the world's most refreshing beer for nothing.
Okay, be honest with me. Do you really have the Rocky Mountains in your beer cooler?
You don't believe it? Check it out.
Man, that's pretty amazing.
I know, right? I can't believe it myself sometimes. I mean, this cooler is only 3 feet wide.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gelner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gelnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy all types of real estate completely as is. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Update your bathroom now while all Dakota vanities are on sale at Menards. Pick from our great selection of Dakota vanities, including the elegant and functional Monroe collection in beautiful finishes, like the light-colored wood-grained Ponderosa. A 24-inch vanity is just $99.99 after sale price and 11% off. Save 11% on everything now at Menards. Good through March 5th. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Are you or your loved ones facing a serious legal battle? The law office of Paul Harris wants you to know you aren't alone. Do you need someone that's not afraid to go to trial and fight for your rights? Attorney Paul Harris and his team are willing to go where most firms are not. The courtroom. With a successful track record in civil litigation, criminal defense, including tax issues and healthcare fraud, Harris Law Office will fight for their clients by offering the most aggressive representation in and out of court. Call Paul Harris at Harris Law Office for a free consultation. 304-232-5300.
We don't run down at sundown. For sports talk all night, listen to WKKX. For political conversation, tune to WVLY, and it's all online at watchdognetwork.com and on your phone with TuneIn Radio.
Live and local for the Ohio Valley, the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
I remind you once again, if you want to watch our video feed, we have a couple of new ways for you to watch it, and I encourage you to redirect your video attention to our Twitter feed at WatchdogWV. That's the Twitter feed for the Watchdog. I generally retweet it on my Twitter feed as well, but our live video feed comes from at WatchdogWV on Twitter. You can also watch our live video feed on our website, watchdognetwork.com. It's right there in the middle of the page. Scroll down about one half a page, and you'll see the large box with the video feed in it. And I highly recommend you scroll to the bottom of our webpage, and there's a link to YouTube there. We've got YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, something else, I think. Anyways, click the YouTube link. It'll take you to our YouTube page, and then when you're on our YouTube page, click subscribe, and you can watch the video. You can watch archives of our old video, and you'll be notified when we have new video, not just here on the morning show, but all throughout the day, any of our live local programs, the video feed. So, but the new thing we've added, and boy, have I noticed, Biffy, as of last week, we started this, a lot of folks watching it now on Twitter. So you can find us on Twitter at WatchdogWV. Usually when I think to retweet it, and I did this morning, you'll find it on my Twitter page as well, at Radio Monroe. Well, let's talk about the weather. Aaron Myler is here from the Big 7, WTRF-TV. Aaron, I'm looking not just at today, but at the week. It looks like we've got a pretty good week in store.
Yeah, like, is it perfect? No, but it looks pretty good overall. I mean, can't complain, starting off with some sunshine, so that's always a good way to begin the week.
Today looks like a nice day, and it's actually the coolest of the week, but it still looks like a pretty nice day.
Yeah, it's not too bad. 42. I think I might up that later on, like just like to like 43 or 44. But I mean, low to mid 40s for the day ahead. Mostly sunny, which is good. Even partly cloudy tomorrow, so still not too bad. And then I mean, we could have a stray shower on Wednesday, but like I will probably end up taking that off. It's probably going to fall apart. I mean, a little bit of nothing for the most part is what I'm expecting. And overall, yeah, like a lot of warmer days coming up, like in the mid to low 50s for Tuesday and Wednesday, and then every time I'm in the studio right now, and I heard a motorcycle go past, and sometimes when I hear a loud noise at first I think it's thunder, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I really messed up the forecast today. I'm like, I really got that wrong.
You worry about that, don't you? And that's a sign of a man who's concerned about his job. I understand that.
Like we'll have like something like since they're making our new studio, we'll have all these big like things rolling around. You'll hear something, and I'll be like in the newsroom, and I hear this noise, and I'm like, oh my gosh, was that thunder? And I'm like, did I really do my job this terribly today?
But no, it was just somebody zipping by on a cycle.
Exactly. So I didn't. No thunder outside. But
and yeah, by the weekend, we're looking for nice warm temperatures. Again, it's the wet spring weekend. It's going to be a bit rainy over the weekend, but we're going to be near or into the 60s for the weekend. So even with some rain, I still like that.
Exactly. I think the key is like we're getting. I mean, this is like. I think I said this at the beginning of the winter when we were asking about what it's going to be, and we said wetter than average and also warmer than average. We've had a lot of warmer days, but it's just like you got to get like the cold with the rain, and luckily we're getting the rain with the warm at the same time, so we're avoiding the snow and all that stuff. So just getting some showers on Saturday and Sunday. It's looking like there's a chance for Saturday timing-wise, but mainly going to be on Sunday. It's looking like so. I put chance just like an update that as we get closer and everything gets a little bit more accurate. But yeah, I mean, even
all in all, again, I look at the week, I look at your 7-day forecast, and I'm thinking, it's fine. 42, it's a jacket day today. You don't go outside without a jacket, obviously, but 42 and sunny. It'll be probably a day for a walk, for those of you who walk. I will walk from the couch to the kitchen, have lunch. But for those of you who walk the trail or something, that might be a good walking day, 42. Then up to 54 tomorrow. I like that. Some wind rolling in tomorrow, too, though.
Yeah, so it'll be a little breezy tomorrow again, so we will see that moving back into your forecast. Today, I mean, honestly, it's pretty much a copy and paste of yesterday, except for just less winds. So, I mean, it's a good start to the week. It's going to be, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I like some weeks it's just cloudy the entire week long, and that's just not going to be this week, which is nice. It's a nice change of pace.
Just looks like a good forecast for this time of year. And it is a reminder that I think spring is on its way. Although I have this image in my head. I'm not the meteorologist you are, but I still have this image in my head of one more winter blast coming. I have no idea if I'm right or not. It's in my gut that I feel like that's going to happen. But not this week. This week looks like a good heading off to spring week.
Yeah, luckily, like you said, heading off to spring, next week is supposed to stay like slightly above average, and then like this is looking very far out. But like weeks 3 and 4 from now, it's like 3 to 4 weeks from now, are also set to stay like just barely above average, which should help us. But I mean, even with that, like when we have above average like weeks, it's like most days might be above average, but you still kind of have a cold day in there. So it's like I said earlier, it's just the timing of when the cold meets with the rainy days where you have to get all the problems that come into fix, but not this week, so that's good.
Biff and I both had a pretty laid-back weekend. I slept most of the weekend. Biff went out, got a walk, went to the Nailers game. It was just kind of a lazy weekend. I think you had some friends in. Is that right?
I had a friend in town from Pittsburgh. Yeah, she came in, so we did dinner at my place on Saturday, and then we went to Good Mansion. I didn't know they had pizza there. I had no clue on Fridays and Saturdays. We got pizza there for lunch on Saturday, and then cooked dinner at my house, and then did breakfast again on Sunday. So we had a good little time. Went to Ogilvy yesterday.
Good day to be in Ogilvy. We took a ride through Ogilvy yesterday. It was just a nice day, sun's out, very pleasant. Good Ogilvy day. Did not do it. I wanted to stop maybe at the Ehlenfeld dining room and have dinner, but we didn't do that. I had dinner. I was telling Biff earlier, if you follow my Twitter page or my Facebook page, last couple of weekends I've gone to Red Lobster, Two Lobster Tails. I've been to a big steakhouse recently. I've had some really, quite frankly, expensive, but, high-end meals. Oh, they were good. And yet yesterday I had probably the best meal of the month. And it was, I preach at Dillonvale Church up in Dillonvale, and we had a little, church luncheon afterwards. And it was just the ladies who made tuna noodle casserole in the basement of the church. And I'm telling you, that was the best meal I've had. That was the best food I've had in weeks.
Yeah, sometimes whatever's the simple. It's always not if I was on death row, I would choose this one thing my mom makes, and it's it's so simple. But it's just it just brings me back to home. It's sometimes you just the fancy things are great, but some days you don't want all that.
Yeah. So I've spent a lot of money over the last weekend, and I've enjoyed every minute of the fancy food, but just a simple church basement dinner of tuna and noodles, and it was oh baby, this is. And they were kind to me. And so they made me a big box to take home. So I had some to eat at home as well. Hey, let me ask you, you alluded to this a minute ago, and I meant to ask this today anyways. How is the new set coming?
I don't. We've got like they got new flooring. They got like new like they do a lot of electrical work, so like stuff that I don't even understand what they did. Where I think the next phase is the lights have to go up. So they got like a whole like they were like I heard one of our people say this and it makes sense. We're pretty much like the only thing newer that we could do would be buying a building that's different. So I think the next step is lights. That I could be totally wrong on that, so don't quote me. But they have like a whole new lighting grid. They're going to be putting the lights up soon, from what I understand, and then we'll start seeing the actual set going in. So I guess you kind of like I think like the set is one of the like the actual like things that you'll see on TV are one of the last things to go in there because everything else has to be done. Like if you're going to redo the floor and you're going to redo the lights and the like, you have to do all that stuff before you do the actual set pieces. So I think it's like a lot of pre-work.
People don't know, or maybe they don't know. I think a lot of folks think that you just like roll out your dining room table and put it in front of a camera, and that's the set. I mean, the amount of work that goes on to wiring it and getting it set up with internet and getting it in all the lighting correct, and all of that stuff is. I mean, it's more than just here's your new desk, Aaron. It's a whole lot more than that.
Yeah, because I think like I mean I'm just like looking generally really quickly at these lights. I think we've at least double or maybe more than that lights that are going in the studio from the last one. Like at least double, maybe triple. That might be pushing it, but like so they have like I think they had to like redo the electrical stuff because like they had people in here doing that because like it's just there's so many things like you said there's so many things that, like what you see on camera is like the half of it. There's so much more than that has to be done to get all that stuff because I mean there's just so many. I mean, it's very well lit, which is great, but there's just so many other moving parts that go along with everything.
It probably, I'm making a guess here, it probably causes you and the folks who have to work around a little bit of difficulty because there's construction going on in the room, but it's also got to be exciting knowing in the end you'll have a brand new set with all new lights, all new wiring. So it's got to be kind of exciting looking forward to that for you guys.
Yeah, it's exciting. Luckily for us, we're like in a different it's like the studio I'm in. It's like right next door, but like the doors are closed, so it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really bother us that much, I don't think. I mean, I'm speaking for myself; it doesn't bother me at all. And like I have a green screen in here, so it all works. I think it's more so like you just said. We're just so excited for the new one because I haven't seen a picture yet. I wish I would have seen a picture, but they're very like tight-lipped with everything with pictures, from what I've understood. So I was just like, I'm just gonna hope for the best and get excited for it.
So, like when it's all done and you guys go out for the first time on your new sets, it'll be like that TV show where the guy says, driver, move that bus, and then everybody sees the set for the first time, and you go, oh, wow.
I would love that.
I think that'll do. They'll do it that way.
We're gonna pull a bus into the studio.
Why not?
Why not? I mean, hey, let's make it work. Let's make it happen.
All right. Hey, Aaron, good talking to you. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Thanks very much. Forecast looking nice, I think. A good day today. So appreciate your time this morning. Have a good one.
You too, you guys. Have a good one.
Aaron Myler from the Big 7, WTRF TV. 6 before the hour. Am I okay on commercials or not, Biffy?
Yes, we are good until 8.
All right, then let's go to what is our top of the morning story this morning.
Top of the morning to you. These are the big stories making news and conversation today on the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
Obviously, top of the morning is the what do we call it? The war in Ukraine, the invasion in Ukraine. It has been an interesting weekend to watch the whole thing. The Ukraine has agreed to talks with President Putin. Which is interesting. Be curious to see how that all works out. The president of Ukraine says there is an agreement to meet with folks from the Russian delegation on the border with Belarus. So there will be, I'm not sure I would call them peace talks, but there will be discussions about what's going on. The U.S. and other Western nations ratcheted up their economic sanctions over the weekend. One of the things that folks felt President Biden had not done that he could have done was take some of the Russian banks out of what's called the SWIFT banking system. It's a technical issue about how money moves, in the ether world between banks. And if you can't use this SWIFT system, you really can't move money around. So it's continuing to chokehold the Russian banks, Russian oligarchs, the whole thing there. So the sanctions have been ratcheted up a bit. The people of Belarus, Biff, I think, Belarus, I had them on my mind for the border there. The people of Ukraine have really been showing their mettle this weekend. I don't know if you watch any of the coverage or not, but just a lot of just average citizens took up arms, went out in the streets, and are trying to stop the Russian invasion. I mean, I don't think all of the experts I've heard said this. Russia was not expecting. They thought they'd come in, roll the tanks in, and everybody just kind of like, oh, well, Russia took us over. They're fighting back, and they're fighting back big. Now, the downside of that is it's prompted Putin to talk about putting the nuclear option in play. I don't know about you, Biffy. I never like to hear those words said.
No.
No. The nuclear option, I can't conceive of even a megalomaniac like Vladimir Putin using the nuclear option. But you could have some nuclear weapons, short of a nuclear bomb, that could be used. It's a really very scary thing. And the embassy has warned American nationals in Russia, to get out of town. If there are American nationals living in Russia or working in Russia, the embassy says, hightail it out of here, buddy, because we're not sure what's going to happen in Russia. Lots of movement in the Ukraine, and we've got a little bit more of that story for you from ABC News right now.
Russian troops continuing to try to take Kyiv, but facing stiff resistance from Ukrainians on the ground. ABC's Aaron Katersky is in Lviv with more on the fighting and the protests against Russia.
Ukrainians draped in their blue and yellow flag chant, "Get out of here," to Russian troops occupying the town hall in Berdyansk. Their chant was decidedly less flattering when the citizens invoked the name of the Russian President Vladimir Putin. In the video posted to social media, the Russian troops appear flummoxed. Earlier, we had heard from Western defense officials the Russian soldiers were confused about who to shoot, since they were overheard saying, "They all look like us."
Almost 500,000 people have already fled Ukraine, according to the United Nations, which will hold an emergency session of the General Assembly later today. The Russian military says its nuclear deterrent forces have been put on high alert, and in Moscow they have stopped market trading today as the value of the ruble plunges. I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Isn't that interesting, Biff? The Russian soldiers are confused who they're supposed to shoot because, quote, they all look like us. Yes. Maybe you should take a little philosophical message there. You're all part of one ethnic group, one background. You're all the same. They ain't your enemy. They're just your brothers. Lots of coverage from ABC. More in-depth, more detail coming up next here. Coming up next hour, we're going to talk about the legislature in West Virginia, and it looks like that anti-stereotype bill did not make the cut. Stephen Adams with us after we check into ABC right now.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
From ABC News.
Bum, 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 bum.